Hey, folks, this is Richard Walker, Great Sports Morpheus, and you're watching BTP Sports Talk Sideline to Sideline. We're here at AT&T Stadium where the Dallas Cowboys just defeated the Houston Texans 20-14 in the fourth and final preseason game of the 2015 preseason. Really not a whole lot to discuss here, folks. This is just really sort of a glorified scrimmage, so to speak, where the coaches of both teams really made some final roster decisions, and also perhaps some guys that are going to be asked to return as a practice squad player should they clear waivers, and also a couple of issues on the depth chart may have been settled today. But a couple of key points from this game. Cowboys started quarterback Dustin Vaughn, who they carried on the roster last year as the third quarterback. I think what they were trying to decide here is whether or not to keep him on as a third quarterback this year. So not a great performance today, 11 of 20, 115 yards, no touchdowns. Ben Molina was the leading rusher with 88 yards on 15 carries. Gus Johnson had 68 yards on 16 carries, and we had an opportunity to speak to him. You'll see that footage as well. And not really much to see here. Again, the Cowboys defeat the Texans 20-14. Some roster issues have been settled. We'll see what happens when the cuts are finalized on Saturday. So again, this is Richard Walker coming to you from AT&T Stadium. The Cowboys defeat the Texans 20-14. We're going to toss it over to Mitchell Brock, who now has a recap from the Texans side of the ball. Mitch.
Thanks, Rich. Hey, folks, this is Mitchell Brock with Bring the Pain Sports, and as you know, we're coming to you from AT&T Stadium here in Arlington, Texas, where the Houston Texans have dropped their fourth and final preseason game to the Dallas Cowboys by a score of 21-14. Of course, here in the fourth and final preseason game, final score is not as big an issue as performance, and third-string quarterback, or projected third-string quarterback, Tom Savage actually got to start today, and he had a rather impressive game. He was 18 of 29 for 135 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 pick. Savage was carted off the field with an injury earlier. We don't have a report on that yet. As far as the rushing side, Kenny Hilliard came in with 18 carries, 42 yards, long of 13. Chris Polk had 10 carries, 24 yards, and Savage had 2 carries for 9 yards. So the leading receiver was actually, again, for the second week in a row, Chris Polk was the leading receiver. I don't know how I feel about that, with 4 receptions and 37 yards and a touchdown. So this is Mitchell Walker, Bring the Pain Sports, and the Texans look to open up the regular season next week with Brian Hoyer under the helm. Mitchell Brock will Bring the Pain Sports, and we'll see you guys in a minute.